Hi there, this is Phil Simborg welcoming you to the Mind Game Center Backgammon Insights website. Um, we have brought together many of the world's leading teachers and authors and players to provide you with lessons, quizzes, and exercises that will help you improve your game no matter what your level of play. Just take a look along the right here, Kit Woolsey, Bill Roberti, and so on. These are all very, very well known, excellent authors, and they have written some of the best material taken from their own books, from their lesson plans, and of course from their own experience to give you terrific insights into the game. You can buy one of these lessons, which we call topics, for as little as 99 cents. We even have a few free ones on the site for you to become acquainted with. And once you buy it, you've got it to view as many times as you like. You can see it on your computer or on your tablet at this time, and in the near future you'll also be able to access any topic that you buy on your smartphones. We're going to start with the Android and then the iPhone, and so you'll be able to buy topics there, add topics, or look at any of the ones you've already purchased and go over them. And I can assure you that you'll want to go over them more than once, because most of them include not just a lesson or information in the form of like an article, but also will have 10 or more positions that will test you or give you examples of how to apply the basic concept that's being discussed in that topic itself. We've divided the topic for every level of play. For example, beginner, intermediate, and advanced. And no matter what your level of play, I can promise you there's plenty you can learn from these topics. Note that we have a couple of topics here that, again, like I mentioned, that are free as an introduction for beginners that will get you into the concept of learning about applying game plans, some of the basic strategy of the game to apply to your checker play. Here's an introduction to match play, which I wrote, which will give you a feeling for why it's more fun, interesting to play matches to a given number of points, and how by playing matches you can start competing in actual tournaments that are played live all over the world. They're also played locally at clubs and in local tournaments, and of course online. And even on your smartphones you can play matches against friends or against strangers and compete for prizes and points and so on. It's really a great way to get involved in the backgammon community in a much more in-depth way. I recommend, if you're a beginner, that you start with the basic checker play topics. Bill Roberti has written several, and Bill is one of the most famous and most respected all-time writers and players that ever lived, and his backgammon books are famous and some of the leading books ever written. And he's summarized some of the most important parts of the game, like opening moves, about making the 5-point, hitting or making a point, and so on. That would be a great place to start. We have some other things that are very important. You can't play backgammon without really understanding the odds of the game, the math of the game, and this really gives you a sound basis for that. And by the way, even if you've been playing for years, it's something you might review, because many people who've been playing for years don't really understand all of the odds and how to figure them. And backgammon is all odds and all math. And then we get into some other areas of checker play. And then, of course, after you get involved in the checker play, learn how to use the doubling cube. Here's a good introduction to the use of the doubling cube, how it works, and some of the basic strategy behind it, and then 10 positions that are very likely to come up where you can test yourself on deciding whether or not you should double, and if you're the one being doubled, whether or not you should take. So all of that's in the beginner section. I recommend it, of course, for all beginners, but even if you're experienced players, it's a terrific review. Then you can get into the intermediate section and get into much more detailed information. The price goes up slightly on some of them. They go from 99 cents to $1.99. But again, you're getting incredible information, well thought out. Everything we have on the site is checked with Extreme Gammon, which is the latest software. Everything is rolled out, and we show the actual rollouts in the intermediate and advanced areas, so you can check it for yourself, and you can be sure it is the latest and greatest and best information. Let me just show you a little bit about how something works. Let's start in the beginner area, and let's take a look at, well, let me go to one of my topics where I can actually review the topic and show it myself for you as if we had, here, play safe or take chances. Here's a good topic. You start out with an introduction and with some discussion about the topic itself. Of course, you can read about the author. We don't need to read about me now, but I think you'll find it interesting. I'm a really very interesting guy. But you can take it as a quiz or as flashcards. Let's look at it as flashcards. And it gives you an example of a play where you can play safe or take a chance. So here's a play where black has a 6-1 to play, and then you have 4 multiple choices. I don't know how well you can see these on the video, but they show up very nicely on the site. If you make the best play, for example, I think the best play here would be to hit twice, to play 24-18 and hit, and then 3-2 and hit. But there's several other choices. But let's say you select hitting twice, and it turns out that it is the correct play. Boy, was I lucky. I came up with the correct play. But whether you got the right play or not, here's an explanation about why it's the best play. And when you scroll down, you have a choice. If you got it wrong, this card will repeat very often. If you got it pretty good, it'll repeat in a couple days, or if you found it very easy, it'll repeat in 3 days instead of 2. So what happens is when you review this topic and you use the flashcard algorithm, then the more difficult the card was for you, the more often it pops up until you finally get it. So it's a really, really great way to learn, and you'll find these very, very interesting. We're updating the site all the time. We're adding more topics all the time. We have people that have gone to the site and bought them all. They just thought they would learn everything because at 99 cents to $3.99 or so a topic, they're paying less for everything than they would pay for one private lesson from one of these top professionals that we have on the site. Perry Gartner and myself are partners in the site, along with some people who are incredible tech people who actually produce the site and maintain it. And we guarantee the topics. We guarantee that you are getting great information. If you buy a topic and you don't think it was worthwhile, you don't think you got your money's worth, we'll refund your money, no questions asked. We want everybody to be happy. We are not doing this as a real profit-making venture. We think this we'll be very lucky if we break even. We're doing this because we love backgammon, and we think this is a great way to expose backgammon in the beginner area, especially when we have the smartphones, to the worldwide backgammon community that really isn't into tournament play as yet and can learn a lot from it. And of course, the more experienced players, our friends who play in tournaments all over the world, there's just a lot of terrific lessons and information here that we think will benefit them greatly. A portion of every one of our sales is donated to the U.S. Backgammon Federation, which we are big supporters of. And people who join the U.S. Backgammon Federation are not just U.S. citizens. People from all over the world recognize the terrific benefits. You can go to that site at www.usbgf.org, and we just hope you enjoy it. And if you have any questions, you can email me personally and directly at psimborg@sbcglobal.net. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy this experience. Bye-bye.